Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Agent here bringing you the second part in this Football in 2044 look. This is the second part, as I just said. So if you've not watched the first part, go check that out before spoilers ensue. I mean, there's a tiny bit of spoilers here. But World Rankings, I feel, is a fairly safe base to put this on because there were some major spoilers. If I was on a specific division right now, so if you've not watched the first part, go check that out right now. I might still put the 10 year links in the description as well if you've not seen the 10-year edition of this simulation either. That's a good starting point, just gets you up to speed a little bit. And then obviously watch this first part of this 25 one because spoilers are going to introduce shortly. I'm actually just going to quickly reference this world rankings right now because there's one real position that's caught my eye, and that's here, joint 14th, Ecuador and Scotland. Now, of course, we can see Brazil, Argentina is the top. Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia as the top three South American teams, and that's fairly standard. Ecuador have made their way to 14th, Chile down in 19th, and then probably the largest surprise of all here is Uruguay down in 29th. But then the other thing is Scotland here in 14th. I'm just gonna quickly look at Scotland because this caught my attention. Denmark is one I want to kind of have a look at as well because they've done reasonably well in recent competitions. Well, I say recent competition. One of them was actually in the 2029 version. They got second place in the World Cup World Cup it was. But then I think they recently got from if you watch the first part of this, they got a third place. So I'm actually going to quickly have a look at this Scotland thing because they're in 14th, and that's just caught my eye. I'm going to go look at these stories of the 2044 thing. The top teams that have emerged, and I'm just going to have a look at this senior squad. That's not the senior squad. That's their things right now. Yeah, okay. That answers quite a lot. Let's have a look at actually the first team right now. The least expensive player, well, there's one here at 300k, but he's 36. Who's their backup to DR? This guy, Jamie Watson, or Ben Irvine, 17 million, 8.5 million they're worth individual, separately. So I think he might just be in there for some reason. I don't know why he's in there. He's 36 and still playing there. He's in Moscow. But I mean, look at this. What have they got here? The midfield players here: Lee Fowler and Alan Granger. I think I just saw he was a new. No, he's one at Man City and getting games. 13 goals, 165 appearances. And Lee Farrell is the one at Newcastle worth 74 million, 325k a week. Newcastle has changed. Dynamics extremely poor. They actually got him off Man United. Well, there we go. But the one we need to have a look at is this. We're just going to go to the Premier League division because this gives you the and you can see it there. This gives you the general overview. Not season preview. Actually, there's a good view kind of view of things. Season preview. Favorites for the next season. 3-1. Southampton. Actually, this is a good view to have on right now because 6th is Newcastle. They've just pushed up. Actually, that says a lot more than I initially looked at this because Newcastle were pipping 6th quite a lot and getting into the Euro positions quite a lot. 3-1 Southampton, 7-2 Man United, 4-1 Chelsea. That's quite tight. 4.5 to 1 here. Liverpool, 5-1 Man City. That's all quite tight. Then Newcastle are kind of just a little stage back at 6-1. And then Arsenal and Tottenham are 25 and 33. They've slipped right off that top 6. That's pretty good. So I mean, you look at it. Southampton have one. There they got the goalkeeper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the media dream 11 right now, which is silly. That is Chelsea there with that one, Liverpool with these two, Man City with Semedo, and that's Chelsea again. They're interesting. Even though Man United is second in this, they don't. Oh no, it's because Southampton and Man United have the same colours. Yeah, they do. Southampton and Man United have the same colours in this. So actually, that's Southampton. He's Southampton because I saw him on the World 11. He's their top player basically. And that's Man United. Actually, they've only got 3 players Southampton here, but that's a lot. But yeah, we'll go on Southampton right now, and we can see. Look at that squad value right there. 56, 58, 65. Lowest value in the first 11 is 47.5 million Australian as well. That's quite good for Australia, actually. That he must be helping Australia out quite a lot. Paraguay as well. Paraguayan, 88 million Paraguayan. Oh, not a very tall squad. 5'10", 5'7", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" in there. 2 5'11s as well. 4 players over 6 foot. Thankfully, one of them is a central defence, and the goalkeeper. But not a lot of tall players in that top part. That part there. But we can sort of see from the competitions here. Premier League division. 2040, 2044. 2044. 4 runners up in the Premier League as well. I mean, that's 1984. But 3 runners up there. They've also had a bunch of FA Cup success actually 1 FA Cup success recently, 1 European Super Cup runner up there, and 1 Euro Cup quite recently as well. This 2039 seems to be the switch point here for them starting actually winning things. So if we go to the profile, and this on the right side here on my custom layout, but you can see here 2039 is when things just kick into top gear for some reason, and they end up in this bit up here. So it's obviously well worth paying attention to Southampton right now. Fierce rivals, Portsmouth, local. Where's Portsmouth? I think they might have gone to the Championship, Portsmouth. They did, yeah. But not really challenging. Decent amount of money in the bank, but not really getting close to reuniting that derby at any point. But yeah, we'll have a look at the landmarks to see if that gives us a clue what happens in 2039. Stadium capacity increases their youth and training facilities in 2037. Fail fair play regulations twice, actually, you can see here. And someone takes over in 2037. Although someone takes over in 2029, they didn't have quite the same effect back then. Did manage to upgrade the facilities about 6 years later. That looks like the first investment they've actually put in this. Obviously, we can't see players' investment there. But that's that. Consortium takes over in 2037. Fail regulations again. Looks like they fail regulation. Actually, they are clearly bringing in players here because they fail regulation in 2036, and immediately the following year again. And that would have been off the back of their investments here as well. So this guy's money has not been factored into that. But evidently, they're clearly bringing in enough money to avoid fair play regulations after this point. Capacity gets improved as well. That's always going to help out with ticket intakes. Still at St Mary's, incidentally. I did notice. But then they start winning things. They won the Euro Cup here, which is probably what brought them enough good players to win the league the following year. Because they shot, as you can see from that, they shot straight from, what was it? 9th to 1st. And that's probably what happened here. They got enough reputation to bring in top players. They clearly must have been bringing in decent players with the money they had. But they must have been able to bring in the top players with that new reputation. And then they win. And you can see then they just continue winning stuff all the way through this 2040s section. So that's Southampton. Now the other one lies in the Spanish. And if you remember my 10-year video, I did drop a hint at the end of that. It's taking a while to load. But I did drop a hint at the end of that. Blimey, it is taking a while to load. I did drop a hint, which I said I did notice something as I paused the simulation, because I kept simulating even though I'd gone beyond the 10 years. I just wanted to get it done. I wanted to make sure I got the simulation in before I did anything. And what it was now, I can't remember the exact specifics of it, but I just caught one news piece as I pressed pause on the simulation. It was around 2041, 2042-ish. And it was towards the end of the year, because it was a something of the year. And it was Tenerife's manager or player won something of the year. Which gave me an indication that clearly they must have done, either that manager or that player was super good and done really well. It didn't necessarily indicate that they were winning things or at the top. It just meant that particular person did really well. And I've just noticed something in regards to Scotland. Sorry, I just got a little sidetracked there. Ladbrokes Premiership, 7th in the world. I wonder if that's got something to do with the Scottish talent as well coming through. Maybe well worth paying attention to Scotland going forward as well in the 50-year save, because they've managed to get their way up to the 7th best league in the world. Curious. But this was it here. Tenerife. I can't remember if it was this player here. As you can see, 27 goals. Top goal scorer by a blooming mile. Top most players of the matches. I think it might have been this guy who actually got player of the year or something like that. But Tenerife, as you can see here, they've shunted out Madrid in the top 4. Madrid haven't been, despite doing really well in the 10-year save, in that sort of 10 years from 2019 to 2029, they did quite well in that period. They've dropped right off in this 50-year save, and you can sort of see not quite the spectrum, not quite the across the board value that Southampton have. particularly with the goalkeeper in. I mean, they're 33 and 31, these guys. Particularly with these guys at the top here. But you can see there's plenty of really expensive talent in this. And actually, I've just realised their best player in the world is not in that right there. There we go, 90 million. He's not in the first team right now because he's on international duty and rested. 90 million. That's the guy. So, sorry, I just clicked off it there. If I could go on profile, and then we can see here, look, a steady increase, much like Southampton's in this part, sort of pottering around the middle. I can't remember if they are first division at the start of this in 2018, because obviously we started this in 2018. I can't remember if they were in the top division at that point. I don't think they are. I don't think there's a Canary Island in the top division. Might have a quick look at the other Canary Islands and see if they're anywhere even loaded. Going forward, maybe that would be something to look at in the third part, just because I need to ascertain where they are in real life, league-wise, not where they geographically. But you can see they've sort of been challenging that top 4 position right there. I'm not sure if they are. I mean, it looks like they've won a second division at some point, so that might give me some indication. Now I can't click on that because they'll just take me to the second division. So if I go on competitions, I can see when they won that. 2019, yeah. So they were clearly in the second division in the 2018/19 season there, because they won it, got promoted to the first division, and I don't think they've been relegated at any point because they're not runner-up or third place after that, so they must have stuck around. And I did remark on Tenerife in that 10-year video as well, as a slight further hint as well, the fact they were even there. I mean, they've got a capacity 37,500 stadium, Javier Perez Stadium. I wonder who that's named after. This guy here. Can't click on him. He's a legend. Can't click on him, so he must be a legend from before. How do I general? Yeah. Oh, he's a chairman. He was a chairman. He was a legendary chairman. That's probably why I can't click on him. Icons. That that guy's in an icon position right now. Carlo Torre is a favourite personnel manager. Carlo Torre is a manager. Sorry, just got straight. Man United. He's at Man United. Why wouldn't it be? That's yeah, okay. So he's a coach at Celtic. He's actually coached at Leicester as things start right now in 2018. Becomes assistant manager for 10 years, like immediately as this sort of simulates. Becomes assistant manager for 10 years, briefly caretaker manager, then interim manager, then permanent manager for a year, and then he gets poached by Ivory Coast for 3 years. This is something that I've noticed quite a lot is ex recognizable players becoming their country's manager at some point. It happened quite a lot in the 10-year save, but probably not quite as effective in the 25 one. Then Rennes, then Tenerife. Actually, he's the manager of Tenerife during this upswing, because they've really pushed on this last 10 years or so. So he's been that manager that entire time. No wonder he's in the favoured personnel. And now he's at Man United now. So that's quite interesting, actually. Carlo Torre is the one that's pushed Tenerife, as they pushed Tenerife. Might be well worth looking who's been the Southampton manager during that period as well. But there we go. That's Tenerife, really. I mean, decent amount of money in the bank, a lot of budget to go here and then do. That's great. £37,500. I wonder when they built that then. Capacity upgraded in 26,000. It says 37.5. Oh, moved to Javier Perez Stadium completed. They moved in 2035. Again, part of this upswing. 2035 seems to be the point where they just gradually started taking out Tycoon. Here we are. This is what happened here. This Tycoon, 2029, started pumping money into the club. This is what's happened to Tenerife. So they got promoted. They got promoted into the first division. Oh, they did actually get relegated. Oh, hang on. Second division champions. They did get relegated from the Spanish division immediately. And then this consortium takes over. When do they actually get promoted again then? Because they were in the top division by 2029. Yeah, promotion 21, 20. Oh, the yo-yoed basically. They went down. They went up. They went down. They went straight back up again. But they must have been promoted via playoffs in that situation because they didn't get the top positions. But then this Tycoon takes over, and Tycoon is the big one. Tycoon's the big one when it comes to takeovers, because they're the ones that's just a sole person with a ton of money, and they just pump it in until it runs out here in 2041. So they get 12 years of continual investment right here. And this is when Carlo Torre takes over about 2035. Then they start winning things in 2036. That's when that world-class player comes in here. Financial Cup runners-up, a lot of runners-up here. It's starting to scale down, but the thing is, the impact has been made. He may have scaled down the funding, but the impact's been made. They are second in the division. And if we go to World real quickly, I'll do this. If I go to World real quickly again, I just go to profile, and we can see them. You see that Southampton are actually the top club in the world. Didn't realise that, actually. Tenerife, you can see Tenerife here, right at the very bottom. Real Madrid, Barcelona, 3 and 4. Tenerife, number 3 in Spain. A good solid distance actually ahead of Atletico Madrid in that right now. But Southampton, the top club in the world in 25 years' time. That is just silly, really. But while we're actually on the world one, we will click on managers, and I'll do this by sort of age. I don't know why I'm halfway down. That's slightly odd. So these are sort of the last remaining managers age-wise, just sort of in 25 years' time. Obviously, a lot of the top ones have long retired by now. Don't know who he is, but he's 71. Thomas Tuchel is probably the most recognisable name right now because he's... where is he right now in 2019? Because it's PSG, isn't he? Yeah, he's PSG manager right now. He goes to Bayern, Inter, Leipzig, Tottenham, Monaco, Benfica, Marseille, Leipzig again, Monaco again, Chelsea, Bayern again, Gladbach, and then now Barcelona. So he's just sort of rotated around the top clubs at this point. And that's where he is. Van Bronckhorst, Las Palmas, the one Inzaghi, another sort of legend. Managing England, just full of... Who's been England manager? Actually, I'm quite curious of that one. How are we doing for value for England player? Oof. Sorry. That is a valuable national team. Nice. Striker, 92 million. Absolutely, literally caning it. Who's been England manager? I'm curious by this. Not a lot. Sean Dyche. For 10 years. So Southgate resigns after the 2020 Euros. Sean Dyche, and it's 20 Euros, isn't it? The next time around. 10 years of Sean Dyche as England manager. And they win the European International League. That is it. He didn't do anything with Johnny Sykes. No idea who he is. He might just be a regen. Can't click on him. Can't click on Ben. Can't click on any of these guys, actually. I kind of want to see how Southgate did. I can click on this guy. Keith Holland, retired as staff for 58. Manager for a period. Resigned. Keith Holland is sacked. Don't know who he is. Just staff. Oh, can you... No, yeah, just staff. 58 again. Neil Wood. Neil Wood's interesting because I don't know exactly if he's a player anywhere. No, he's assistant 23's manager when everything kicks off. I can't remember if he's a player at any point before this. Career stats. Oh, he is. He was a player with Man United. He didn't actually play a lot, to be honest. Lower leagues, but he's assistant manager. He's assistant manager at Man United, basically, when this all kicks off, and then he actually gets into managing and a bit more assistant managing. And then he ends up at Norwich, England, Benfica, and now Newcastle. Newcastle gone now. I mean, he's yeah, okay, pretty good. Thank you, Newt. Actually, I want to see what Newcastle's funding is right now because they've got insane wages. We saw that 300. We saw that with I can't remember who it was now. Was it this guy, Lucas Gomez? It was on 325,000. No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was on 325,000 a year. Was it? Oh, it was the Scottish guy, wasn't it? 325,000. That's a lot of money. I mean, he's worth 74 million, but he's unhappy. I don't know why. Wants to leave for continental football. Where did they finish last season? Ah, 7th. Someone must have won someone must have won it outside of the top 7. This guy's their key player, the captain. But yeah, they've got insane wages in Newcastle, so I want to have a quick look at this as well, because Newcastle being my Premier League team that I support. Hans Bertelsen scales down funding. This is probably something to do with it. Scales down funding here. Oh, actually, Tenerife may have a bit more money in the bank, actually, because he's scaled down funding twice now. Tycoon, 2028. Tycoon takes over. I wonder if... Oh, someone does actually take over my... Mike Ashley leaves on Halloween of all to no, the day before Halloween. Consortium takes over and then that lasts for 10 years. And then a tycoon takes over here. Youth category comes back up. We gain Andreas Christensen at some point, evidently. Scares off running a few years later, and scares off running further on going forward. But Ethan Ampadu, we get him as well, evidently. Names up here won't make any sense, but there we are. That's kind of that. I mean, I got way distracted there. We were looking at managers in general, weren't we? Thierry Henry here, immediately Cordoba. Rio Ferdinand's at Forest Green. Gareth McCauley. I think Gareth McCauley might have been Newcastle manager, I remember from the last one. Colo Torre we saw his man there. This is sort of the region of players that have retired recently now, 25 years on. So these will be players that are around 35, 36 now, are going to be around 60 odd going forward here. Craig Gordon, I've just noticed, at Charlton. Alan McGregor. That we saw Neil Wood there. That's one. Steve Morrison, Northern Ireland. Jose Font. Oof. There were a lot of players, like I say, in the 10-year one, a lot of players who were managing their country's teams. I'm not seeing a lot of their names anymore. Alo Diarra. I think I just saw Alo Diarra. Recognise that name. Belgium manager. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah, you'd be expecting to see a bunch of them around here. Maybe they were just that little bit too old. I think they may have been in that sort of 40s region, 40, 45. That now pushes them to sort of because 40 years old would be 65 now, wouldn't it? They're in that sort of 40, 45 region, so you expect them to be maybe you expect them to just be around retiring at this point. 66-year-old Henry is baffling to even comprehend right now. I was just scrolling down. I'm not really noticing Marcelino. Actually, Marcelino might be one of those. Not really. One of them was South Korea. I remember that much. If I see the name, I'll recognize it. It was a famous South Korean player. John Obi Mikel is Nigeria under-20s. Jonathan de Guzman was the manager of Norwich when we left off. Stephen Defoe, Belgium under-21s. Rajan Angolan Amiens. Adam Lallana at Everton. That seems conflict of interest. Johnny Howson, QPR. That sort of fits, really. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's one of them, actually. He wasn't an England manager at any point, but he was managing lower leagues. I don't know why that always seems to happen. If you get sort of a few years into a save, you'll typically find Wayne Rooney managing lower league football somewhere. Andre Ayew, Mets. Yeah, we're sort of getting now into current players because, obviously 54 would be what, 29? No. Yeah, 29. We're getting into sort of current players region right now. Not seeing a lot. Antoine Griezmann. There we are. There's a big one. At Lugo. Alrighty then. Phenomenal name. Elvis. You're a regen manager, and terrible. But that's a name. Stuart Armstrong. I think he's in Scotland, isn't he? Currently. Oh, he was at Celtic. He moved to Southampton this year. That's what I'm thinking of. Alex Woodyard. That's not Lincoln's Alex Woodyard, is it? Sorry, Lincoln's my local team. Yeah, that is Lincoln's. Oh, he's moved to Peterborough this year. I didn't even realise that. As of recording this, Lincoln have just been promoted. I should know that. Marco van Ginkel. That's a name. Oh, he's Lincoln manager. That was a weird segue. But that's Marco van Ginkel. Nice. He ended up spending 10 years at Salzburg. But he's Lincoln manager now. I think Lincoln in the Championship at this point. If you watch the first part of this. Jesse Lingard at Fulham there. Again, there's some names now. Ika Maine, Cadiz. As soon as I say that. Lucas Digne, Cardiff. Clinton Ng. Brian Yannick Carrasco under 19s there. Thijs Ginter, Chelsea's manager. That's the first sort of name of current times that's actually in the big time. Kurt Zuma, Bordeaux. Kareem Rekik, Leicester. Now we're getting somewhere. Callum Chambers at Sheffield Wednesday. Marcus Llorente might be someone. Presnel Kimpembe, Bayern. Yeah, he's at PSG at the start of this, isn't he? Wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Bayern at some point in the save. Which nope, never played for Bayern. No loyalty to Bayern at all. Just spent his entire career pretty much at Inter, then sort of ended it off rotating. No, not his entire career actually. He got to 2028, and then I don't know how much this is managing actually. Torino as a manager, so Rennes. So yeah, he had 3 years at Inter, and then Rennes is his retirement. There's Anthony Martial. Actually, fun fact. I don't know if I actually mentioned. I can't remember if I actually mentioned the Cyprus. My Cyprus sort of. I don't know. He was Lincoln manager. I might have to have a quick look at Lincoln right now as well. I just want to quickly mention my Cyprus thing. This is something I've done in the background. I might actually do this as a non-invested manager at some point. But I downloaded a Cyprus database, and then I edited that database to give it Premier League money. And I want to see how long it would take for the Cyprus league to become essentially Portugal, the 6th best league in the world. I wasn't expecting them to crack top 5 really anytime soon, but I wanted them to get that 6th place as soon as possible. And I am essentially PSGing in Cyprus right now with my team. I picked up Paphos. And just to give you an idea of this, I think we're about 7 or 8 years into this save right now. I've just picked up Martial, who was transfer listed at Real Madrid. That's where I've taken my personal team in Cyprus. We just won the Champions League, which is part of that. So that's just the Martial link. I have to look at Lincoln right now because that manager is, they are in Championship. Decent money for. I mean, I have to look at their managers right now because they seem to have a. Oh, if someone can tell me how to only show not caretaker managers, that'd be great. Because I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. High caretakers. Literally at the bottom of the page. You know what? Oh, Nathaniel Klein. Here. Literally just after we left off, actually. That's the only name I recognise. Yannick Vestergaard maybe might have been. Nathaniel Klein. Still clickable. Assistant manager to Birmingham. He hasn't had the best of things. But that is actually... Yeah, okay, that was actually not as interesting as I thought it was going to be. I apologise for that. Ryan Delaney. Now we're getting into sort of very young players. Benjamin Henriks, a Hamburger. SV. Phil Kenny. Yeah, we're actually getting into young players right now because these guys will be 21 at the start of this. In 2019, 2018, Declan Rice at Huddersfield, there's one. We're getting into actually youth prospects at this point. So Declan Rice is one. Fiat Alp, Karlsruhe. Moise Keane is Navarra manager. Phil Foden is Rotherham manager. Good lord. Yassi Nadley, Emil Smith Rowe, Claudio Gomez. I think these are all youth. Angel Gomez as well. George McCackeren, Burnley manager. If I've missed any as I've scrolled through this, please let me know if there was any ridiculous ones. And I think we're actually now at the point where everything's too young. They're sort of 17-year-olds at this point. But I want to have a look at Rooney real quick because he's usually managing lower league at the start of this. Wayne Rooney disappeared. Yeah. That's as player. Yeovil. That's where he was. He was at Yeovil. Oh no, I think he was literally just started Coventry, and then that's it. Basically, Newport County, and that was it. He spent about 3 years in management. That's a shame. But there we go. I'm going to leave that. If there's anything you really want me to have a look at, see how things are going in 25 years. If you sort of not really, if you think I've not really looked at anything in particular that you want me to look at, I can look into doing a third entry in that. It's a bank holiday weekend, so I've got a little bit of time to spend doing a third one if you really want me to. But comment down below if you want me to look into something, or if I've missed something that really, really caught your eye and I completely missed it. Comment down below. Probably did miss it. And otherwise, the next video you'll see will be the 50 years one, and that'll be coming. I'm looking to sort of lock these into Tuesdays and Fridays, basically. First part Tuesday, second part Friday, and then if I do a third part to any one of them, then I'll do that I'll release that on a Sunday probably, or double up on a Monday depending on how my week is. I am looking to bring an actual I couldn't even call it a let's play. I'm still in my older ballparks mindset, but yeah, I am planning to do an actual manager save at some point soon. I've picked the team I want to do. I'm not going to reveal what it is. I will just say that the team isn't that low down, so if you're looking for like a real sort of progression save from non-league to top thing, I will say it is a team in the top 4 divisions of English football, but just because I don't have like the same amount of time to commit as some, obviously, as the people who can do five uploads a week, I'm probably looking to do 2 to 3 uploads a week. So I'm not looking that too far down the league structure right now, because I want to be able to get to that sort of winning the Champions League position at some point before Football Manager 20 comes out. Obviously, if I do really well, if I do really well and I get there, then I might kick on for another couple of years in that same save at the top level, and then I might decide to leave it there, and then just move on to some kind of brief challenge, one season saves or something like that until Football Manager 20 comes out. We'll see how it goes, but I want to play it safe this time around, just because I don't want to be in the position where we've started too low down and we've not hit where we wanted to get by the time Football Manager 20 comes out. So it's really weird saying Football Manager 20. That seems like so futuristic, Football Manager 20, but it's only 7 months away probably at this point. So it's going to be a committed save. I am going to look to start streaming this as well with a different team as well. They're not going to be that far down either. That's going to be more just a casual, every now and then kind of stream thing, maybe once a week, something like that. So it'd be only like one sort of 3-4 hour session a week, something like that. I think I know which team I want to do for that. It's a team that I've always wanted to do a save for because of their name. Not English, that one. But we'll see how things go. If you've enjoyed this, please give it a like, and I'll see you for the next video. I've been amazing to you. You've been amazing too. Ta-ra.